Hi, I'm Manjunath MK. We are going to then discuss session number 22, under which we are going to then discuss the placement. The placement after the selection, the the prospective employee gets selected. Placement is a determination of the job to which the accepted candidate is to be then assigned and as assignment to that job. These are simple meaning. Placement means the determination of the job to which an accepted candidate is to be then assigned and as assignment to that job is called as placement. It is a matching of what the supervisor has to then reason to then think he can do with the job demands, and it is matching then what it imposes and what it offers in the form of the payroll and compensation to the others and promotional possibility, etc. After selection and placement, placement is a new employee will send for induction program. It is not nothing about the program of welcoming the newcomers and introducing him to the people at work and workplace and the work environment practices and the policies and the purpose of the organization, so that the new employee feels at home, secure, and he can understand how his job is to the important in the total organization. According to Pigas and Mayers, the placement may be defined as a determination of the job to which the selected candidate is to be then assigned and assignment to the particular job. It is the matching of what a supervisor has the reason to then think he can do then with then a job requirement. It's a matching of what he imposes and what he offers in the form of payroll with other promotional possibilities. Then after completion of then any candidate is encompasses of then a selection test and other thing. After that he is welcoming into the organization. Whatever the job is assigned, then accepted candidate is to be then assigned to the as assignment to that job. You can understand again the here in this process they are going to then introduce the workplace, work environment, practice and policies and the purpose of the organization and the people at work. Then what is the significance or importance of placement? It is important for both organization as well as then staff, and each employee should be placed on a suitable job. The factor is to be considered is not only suitability of the job to the individual, but also initial placement is always a problem because there is a little knowledge about the new employee. Therefore, placement should be done then after the due consideration of all the demands of the job as well as the social and psychological needs of the employee. An individual then which has spent a lot of time and money in taking the very careful selection, he may lose the wrong placement. The right placement of the workers can have the following advantages. We already been discussed the placement. Then after completing then all the selection test and interview and all, then after that then right placement of the worker can have the following advantage. The first one is that he reduced the labor turnover rate. When the placement is correctly done, he has to then introduce with the new working environment, then co-workers and the policies and other things regarding the company's concern. After that, then he is going to then get the advantage by the employer. The first one is that reduce the labor turnover rate. Second one is that he can reduce the absenteeism rate of the employee. Third one is that increase safety of the workers and low accident. The fourth one is that increased morale of workers. The fifth one is that better human relations in the organization. These are all the advantages. We can be avoid the labor turnover, absenteeism of the employee, then increase the safety of the workers. Whenever we are going to then creating the awareness of the work and the workplace, working condition, the core workers and the policies and all, we can be gradually then we can increase the safety of the workers and low accident rate can be then can happen. The fourth one is that the increased morale of the workers through the proper placement in which we can be then increase and the morale of the workers. Another one is that the better human relations in the organization. Whenever introduce the co-workers and the other people in the organization, they can it is helpful to then better human relations in the organization. Another concept is that then while taking the placement decisions, following the consideration, the principles should be considered. While making the placement, the some of the principles are to be then considered. The first one is the job requirement. Then job requirements. An employee should be placed on the job according to the job requirement of the of the job, such as physical and mental ability, eyesight, hearing, stress, etc. The job should not be then here adjusted according to the qualification and ability of the workers. The job placement of the profile charts can be used to then match the workers' physical and mental abilities with the job requirement. This profile chart displays the evaluation of both job requirement and the job abilities for a key features on the job, so that the management can easily determine then how well the workers are fit to the organization. The first important principle is the job requirement. According to the job, then mental ability, the physical and the eyesight, hearing, stress, according to that, he has matched with the job. This is the first one. Second one is a suitable qualification. The job should be then here offered only to that person who is suitably qualified. He is already been considered in the selection. Or often the overqualified and underqualified person might be then creating the problems for the organization in the long run. That's why the placement is quite important. Then important. That's why this principle has to be then followed. The suitable qualification, then more qualification also then problem bottleneck to the organization. The lower qualification also the bottleneck to the organization. That's why it should be appropriate qualified person to be selected. The third one is that adequate information to the job and the incumbent. The employee should provide with the complete information and facts relating to the job, including workers' condition prevailing in the firm. It should also then made known to the rewards associated with the performance level. Adequate information to the job incumbent. The employee should provide with the information regarding the particular job, including the working condition prevailing in the firm. It should also made known to the rewards associated with the performance level. The fourth one is that commitment and the loyalty. While placing a new employee, then effort should be made to develop in the sense of the commitment, loyalty, and consideration and responsibility in his mind, that he may realize the responsibility better towards the job and the organization and as associates. The fourth important point is that commitment and loyalty. While placing the new employee, effort should be made to create or develop the sense of the responsibility, the commitment, loyalty, and cooperation in the mind too, so that he can realize the responsibility towards a particular job. Another one is that the flexibility. The placement is at the initial period may be temporary, as changes likely after the completion of training. The employee may later transferred to the job where he can do the better justice. The placement makes in the initial period, the temporary changes has been made after completion of training. The employee may later transfer to the job where he can do the better justice. The proper placement helps to improve the employee moral capacity of the employee can be utilized fully if he is placed on the job for which he most suitable, and the right placement helps to reduce the labor turnover, absenteeism, accident rates. If the candidates adjust themselves to the job, continues to perform as expectation, then might be mean that the candidates properly then placed. Here, this session will we've been understand the placement and then the steps in the significance of placement as well as the principles of placement. Another session we are going to then discuss in the session number 23. We been discussed then placement. Then after the placement, then what may be the problems in placement. Then there is a mismatch between the employee then as well as job requirement. That's why it happens. That's why it should be then concentrating on what are the problems commonly that happen problems with respect to the placement is concerned. In the session number 23, we are going to then understand the problems in placement. The placement needs a clear-cut match between the employee skills, knowledge, value systems, attitude, aptitude, and the job description and job specification. Though the HR managers takes all the possible precautions, some of the problems in placement then crop up. These problems are included. The most likely problems, it is a mismatch in between the job requirement, the employee skill and knowledge, attitude, and as well as with the job specification. Likewise, the mismatch, there is a problems is arised. The first problem is that employee expectation. The employee expects the easy job, the easy working condition, the better salary, then the handful of salary is expected. But the actual situation is quite different. That's why the employee expectation may differ. He may be then here get frustrated with the then particular job regarding the then low salary, the dependent and the routine work, and then the employee finds himself a misfit to the job. That's why this is the most important the problem happen while placement. If the employee expects a higher salary and independent and challenging work, and then the job offers low salary, independent and the dependent and routine work, it might be then cause a problem to the employee. The second one is that the job expectation, the description. Sometimes the expectations of the employee are then the employee's ability skills. Then the HR manager finds a mismatch in between the job and the employee. Then here, employee are then the employee's abilities and skills. The whatever the actual job requires more expectation than the employee is having. That's why the job expectation description has the problem. Third one is that the change in technology. Then it is a common phenomena is that the technological changes brings the radical changes in the job description specification. That's why these changes result in mismatch into the job as well as the employee. Then due to changes in technology, it may be make crucial changes over the work. That's why the job description has been changed and the job specification has been changed. Due to the technology, it makes a mismatch in between the employee as well as the job. Then another one is that the changes in organization structure. The business grand strategies like merger, acquisition, downsizing, right sizing, delayering, then etc. result in changes in the organization structure, thereby the changes in jobs. Another one is that the placement problem is the changes in organization. Organization may be changes, then the business strategies like merger, acquisition, downsizing, then delayering, etc. Then it might then cause the changes in the organization structure. That's why hereby then mismatch in between the employee as well as then a job. Then another one is that the social and psychological factors. The social and psychological factors involved in the teamwork and the group information sometimes result may be mismatch. In between the then co-worker, then social factors, the psychological factors are involved in teamwork or group information sometimes may be then here mismatch. These are the major problems we can be then find out through the then placement. Then how to make a placement effective. If the placement is we have done the placement, how to make the placement effective. The first one is that the rotation. The job rotation, this is the technique. It is commonly then happened in the banking sectors. Then a particular employee might have the knowledge with all the type of work as happened in the particular organization. Likewise here also the job rotation, the technique of rotating the job employee among the different jobs in the different departments or the organization enables the employee to satisfy his attitude for the challenging work and finds the mismatch himself to the job. The second one is that then in order to make a placement effective, the teamwork. The recent trends in job designs is building team building. The teamwork allows the employees to then use their skills, knowledge, abilities and minimize the problems in placement. The third one is that training and development. Continuous and the employee training and management the management development help the employee to then acquire the new skills, knowledge based on the redesigned jobs. The another one is that then employee empowerment. The employee empowerment related to the job makes the employee exploit the potential or to make use of them. These are all the way in which we can then make the placement effective. Job rotation, teamwork, training and development, employee empowerment. These are all the area in which you have to then focus, make the placement effective. Job rotation, the individual employee should be then changes with the different jobs in the organization. It may be then different departments. Then he can get the changeover, the change. He can having the better knowledge then through creating the training and development and in order to then given the chance to then make in a team, then teamwork. Another one is the employee empowerment has to be done. Then it makes the employee to then exploit as potential and all. This is session number 23. In the session number 24, we are going to then understand then artificial intelligence. Then artificial intelligence in the human resource management is inevitable. However, some of the then some concerns as such as the time resource required to then implement. Uh, Artificial intelligence sometimes it's is not necessary for the some organization they need to the near change with the artificial intelligence. Then in the human resource management there is a limitation as well as then advantages, both are there. Artificial intelligence is has earned its place in the world if of the business, and it does not look to be backing out of soon. The revolutionary the technology has brought about the game-changing developments that have thickened the margin lines, especially in the then discipline of human resource management, giving its knack for accuracy and its effectiveness with the time. The future for artificial intelligence in the human resource management seems inevitable. However, there are some of the concerns such as the time and resource are required to the implement artificial intelligence, and the limitations it poses in communication, important variables like company culture and so on. Sorry. There are the several benefits as well as the disadvantages for implementing the artificial intelligence of human resource management. The topic has to be generated debate on the recent years. You have been in the then primary benefactors and who has not seen so happy with the development. However, the for companies that are considering whether the implement artificial intelligence for the human resource department, it is essential into then consideration of companies goals, because it will be then it will significantly influence the decision has been reached. This is the session number 23 being discussed, the artificial intelligence. Thank you for listening.